Hello, my name is Marlon Chintelli, and I will be showing my Excel project. It is a dynamic portfolio calculator. Really, it's a compound interest calculator that allows you to input whatever stock or index or anything for that matter, any industry, any category. If you want to do gold, precious metal, crude oil, any of that. Or in the future, you can actually put in the historical average and stock and the investment value, and you'll get your compounded investment over the next, 1 year or 10 years, 50, however many years you like. So, in order to run this macro, which the whole thing is based off of macro, which I will get to VBA very soon. So, you're going to run master calculator, whatever you choose to run. Um, you can input the number of stocks. Currently, it's 1 through 30, but the VBA can always be adjusted to house as many stocks as you prefer. So for this example, we're going to go pretty small. So we're going to go four stocks as well. And what we are going to do is we're going to click on the drop-down menu, and we're going to select which ones we have. Currently in the data set, there's 13. There is the S&P 500, Dow, NASDAQ, the Russell indexes, and then there is Alphabet, Google's parent company, Amazon, Apple, Berkshire Hathaway, Goldman Sachs, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, Tesla. And so for these, I'm going to choose the S&P 500. I'm going to choose the NASDAQ. I'm going to choose probably, Alphabet, and let's go with Goldman Sachs. So for this example, let's say we're investing, $50,000. This is maybe our 401k or inheritance money, and we're just throwing it all on investments. We want to see how much we can make in the future. So since these are relatively safe indexes, we are going to actually be pretty easy and put $10,000 in each one. So we've inputted our $10,000. And if you look at this, so this is $40,000, and mostly because of Alphabet, how high some of these returns are over the last 10 years, the historical average for the last 10 years is, pretty high, especially COVID, and that kind of bounce back of the market definitely brought it up for sure. And it just seems like it's just been growing year over year. So, like we see in a lot of these over 10 years, we see now compounded all of them multiple times. Now, for this, so we currently have the default number of years as 10. We can select 5, we can select 1 year, we can half a year if we really want to see some short-term investments. But now let's just keep it at 10, and let's just lower this, and let's just go with one singular one. So you can either select on the drop down and go to a blank space, or you can just click delete. So let's say we are only investing into the S&P 500, which seems, like a normal standard 401k. So a lot of people invest into the S&P 500, and why not? It produces good numbers very easily. So we said we were going to invest, $50,000. So let's put our $50,000 in the S&P 500. And this is kind of more of a retirement fund. So let's see if, let's say we're 25 right now, and we're planning on retiring 65. We can input that to 50 years. So 40 years. And it looks like, so if we invested $50,000 now, at the time that we're 25, by the time we turn 65, we should, if the historical averages over the last 10 years hold up, we should have $4.5 million in that account. But that is not the only good thing that this calculator is used for. I think, there's a lot of purpose with it as well. So, let's look at a company like Berkshire Hathaway, who consistently does extremely well in the market. And let's say we're trying to look at short-term gains. I recently was invested into Berkshire Hathaway. And let's actually just outline our whole portfolio. We have Microsoft, and let's say we have Apple in there. And, maybe this is just like a portfolio you can mess around with and just have a little bit of money in there to do your own trading personally. And, you know, you only keep your stocks in 1 year to avoid the capital gain or the tax, capital gains. So, yeah, let's see. So, for the short-term gain tax, so let's see. So we keep our stocks in there for 1 year. We've invested 4,800. It looks like we'll do very well and make almost a grand. We'll make, um, you know, 1/6 of our money within uh, that whole year, which is fantastic. So, there's a lot of use outside of just tracking, a portfolio or retirement portfolio. We can affect the current portfolio on this. Another thing is we can add a stock to the data list now. So the stock we're going to add something. Let's go Nike. That's a good one. And let's say I'm not quite sure what the historical average is, but let's say they do 8%. That has now been added to our data tab, and it has also been added to our categories. Now, I wanted to show this because this is input incorrectly on purpose for the fact that you have to insert it as a decimal when we do insert. So let's do this, go back and do Nike form, and we're going to do 0.8. So you add it as a percentage. And now let's do our investment amount of Nike, our second Nike, I should say. And we can always go back in the data table and delete those. Here we go. Let's go back. So we need it to be 0.08. So let's just name this lemon, and let's say 0.08%. Here we go, and let's invest $100, and it looks like over the span of 1 year, we would make $8. It's an average return of 8%. So just be aware when adding stocks that it is put in as the percentage value behind the decimal. So now going to the data tab, this is just some of the math I used to calculate the historical data from Yahoo Finance. But here is the data chart with all of our stocks listed and historical averages. So every time you add a new stock, it will just go onto this data sheet. And then if you have any mess ups like that with the Nike, then you can enter it and just move it up into the chart, and it'll appear higher on the drop down menu. And if you'd like to get rid of any of these, you don't plan on investing in them, you can just remove them, shift cells upward, and it will do it for you. So that is essentially how the calculator works. It's very simple. Now going into the virtual basic, let's go to the master calculator, so I've listed what each thing does so that it's all very user friendly, so that you can actually change the VBA if you'd like to make it more advanced, if you'd like to, like I said, add more numbers of stocks in the future, update the formulas to do whatever you prefer. So there we go. I'll just scroll through this. All right, and the second macro, we're going to be adding stock to the data. Just this right here, which stock you would like to show, um, or adding a new stock, sorry, adding a new stock, and we'll start pulling that up by clicking that button. Um, yeah, and the number of stocks when you first run the macro is part of the master calculator. Uh, Here at the bottom. So here's the adding stocks as well as on there as well. But yes, so you can pretty much do anything with this compound interest calculator. If you wanted to even just add, let's say, not even a stock or category, high yield savings account, like let's just do high yield savings account. And I think the average right now is 4.1. So let's just do 4.1. And let's just say have, $10,000, and then you can show how much money you're going to earn over the year, just by having that money in there, which is $410. And if you keep that money in a high yield savings account over the next 20 years, it's going to compound. So there's a lot you can do with this calculator, and it's not very limited at all to, since you can add the stock, to what you can actually do. But thank you for listening.